I'm 13 News Now meteorologist Evan Stewart. It is Wednesday afternoon. Have the latest on the tropics. Of course, we have Tropical Storm Debby that has strengthened some this morning as it has worked its way over the warmer waters of the Atlantic. Of course, it made landfall Monday down through the Big Bend of Florida, worked its way across Florida, Georgia, and now South Carolina. And it's spinning here off the coast of Charleston. And with that center of circulation over the warmer waters of the Atlantic, you can see those thunderstorms that have been firing up once again around that center of circulation. Winds are back up to 60 miles per hour. With gusts to 70, it is still a very slow-moving system as far as the forward movement. That's only at 5 miles per hour, and you can do a quick walk faster than this storm is moving, and it hasn't moved much over the past 12 to 16 hours, and it's not going to move much as we head here through the early part of the afternoon and the evening. Eventually, a cold front will help pick up the system and rapidly pull it off towards the north, but that means for us that we'll start to see the heavy rain becoming more frequent here across Hampton Roads. Here's the forecast track carrying the storm again up through the low country of South Carolina by Thursday morning. Still a tropical storm with winds of 50 miles per hour over land by 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. And then as it starts to interact with that cold front coming in from the north, it's going to pick it up and carry it up into areas of western Virginia. Here's Friday morning, a tropical depression with winds of 35 miles per hour. Of course, all of Hampton Roads and coastal North Carolina on the east side of the system. So we'll see the heavy rain, and we can't even totally rule out a spin-up tornado, because anytime you have a landfalling system or its remnants passing by you, there's a lot of energy in the atmosphere, a lot of spin left over from that system, and it can occasionally spin up an isolated tornado. So we can't totally rule that out. It's not a high chance, it's a low-end chance, but that chance is certainly there. Then the system will quickly be pulled off towards the north and east Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, working its way through eastern Canada. That's that cold front that'll pick up the system, carry it towards the northeast, and clear things out for eastern Virginia and North Carolina for the second half of the day on Saturday. So here's what it looks like as far as the spaghetti models. Again, fairly consistent. Some jog it a little more towards the west, but there is that general consensus that it'll move here just west of Raleigh towards the Greensboro area, Winston-Salem, High Point, and then eventually up through western Virginia and rapidly accelerate towards the north and east. So fairly uniform agreement, some deviation, by 20, 30, 40 miles east or west as to exactly where that center track will be. If it's a little bit farther to the west, that means that we'll get lesser amounts of rain here across eastern Virginia, North Carolina. If it's an easterly track, that means the heavier rain. Generally, we're looking at 7 to 10 inches of rain across North Carolina and South Carolina closer to the track. As it is picked up by that front, it'll be moving faster, so it won't have the opportunity to drop as much rain as it will when it's just a slow-moving system down here over the low country of South Carolina. Generally 2 to 4 inches in Hampton Roads, some lesser amounts likely across the eastern shore, but that potential is there for any thunderstorms that develop or any tropical downpours to have some heavy rain, which could result in some flooding. High to extreme risk of flooding through parts of North and South Carolina, say from around Fayetteville down towards Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and then into the day on Thursday. That high risk of flooding extends up towards Raleigh, Greensboro, just east of Charlotte, Fayetteville, down towards Lumberton, and eventually towards Cape Fear. Hampton Roads under that likely threat for flash flooding. That's why we have a flood watch that'll go into effect tonight. Will run through Thursday and Friday for that potential for heavy rain, and still that potential for some heavy rain and flooding, not as high, but that potential is there through much of Virginia and North Carolina, even into the day on Friday. So that's why Thursday and Friday are both weather alert days through coastal Virginia and North Carolina. Elsewhere in the tropics, we've been watching this one wave, now only about a 10% chance of development over the next week as it works its way towards the Bay of Campeche. Of course, we'll have constant updates on air and online, so keep it tuned right here to 13 News Now, 13newsnow.com, and our social media channels, and we'll keep you up to date through Tropical Storm Debby.